say hello to y'all, good evening to y'all, good day to y'all, wherever y'all tuning in from. Hello, and thank you, of course, for being here. This is Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. Of course, here to help you unpack your baggage and, of course, be able to move forward in life and love and relationships. So, like I said, definitely welcome. This podcast episode is all about emotions. How do I deal with how do you deal with emotions after the breakup or divorce? I know that's of course a lot of people of course have been through a breakup. I'm not sure about the divorce part, but of course I'm sure a breakup, whether that's a breakup of a romantic relationship or a friendship or leaving a job, it's all the same thing, y'all. A breakup is a breakup. You're still gonna be grieving and going through that same similar kind of process, I guess I should say. But like I said, that's what this episode is going to be about. So welcome. I do want to say that this episode is sponsored by the Social Worker Coach LLC, and I do have a current free webinar for you to check out on Wednesday nights. It's called How to Be the Peace You Want to Be See Inside Your Relationship, and this of course is dealing with of course you unpacking your baggage and becoming that peace, becoming that love in order to have that inside your relationship. So I talk about a lot of different tips, strategies, and ways to do that inside that webinar. All the free content, trust me, it's on hit, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get there. There's a link inside the description. Like I said, come join me. I only have so many seats available, so come join me. Once the seats are gone, then they're gone. You have to come the next time I have it. So, like I said, go ahead and click that link and go ahead and get registered, y'all. It's free. I didn't say it was free, but it's free. So let's get on to the episode. Again, this episode is talking about how do I deal with my emotions after a breakup or a divorce. Okay, now, I'm sure y'all know y'all girl, your coach. Of course, I have been divorced before, and I've been, of course, I've broken up in relationships before. I guess I put it that way as well. And in relationships romantically, and then, of course, I've had friendships and sister friendships, I guess you can say, people I loved and supported and that kind of thing, to go by the wayside as well, to be blocked and to be put on the island by myself like I'm the one who did something wrong and all this. But like I said, it happens, y'all. We all know that. Different people react different ways and relationships break up all the time. But there's nothing that we can do about it, especially if that person has it in their head that they want to move on to something else. They want to do something different. I guess I put it that way, regardless as to how we feel about it. Like I said, but in dealing with all that, knowing that they have free will and so do we, they leave us, of course, hurt, upset, don't know what's going on, wanting closure and all those types of things. Just realize that dealing with the emotions, I'll get to that shortly, but just realize that in the relationships that you have, I don't care what it is, that you're leaving from or moving forward from, that 9 times out of 10, you will not get that closure that you're looking for. Usually, folks don't sit down with you and tell you, oh, I am leaving this relationship because you made me mad, or because you did this, or because you said these things, or because I thought you cheated, or because you weren't loyal enough, or whatever it is. Nobody sits you down and tells you those things. I've never been sat down and told those things. I'm sure, well, after my divorce, years later, me and my partner talked about it, but that was really about it. It wasn't a full confession or responsibility taken. It was a blame on my family does this and that's what I'm going to do. Is how it was presented to me. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, definitely, you can't expect closure in anything. Now, the only thing you can probably expect closure with is leaving a job because you're giving your 2 week notice. I'm hoping that you're giving the 2 week notice or some type of notice to let them know that you're leaving just in case you have to go back to that job, that kind of thing. Hopefully, if you're leaving, hopefully you won't have to. But like I said, that has been in people's cars to return back to where they came from because of whatever didn't work out. But that's only in the job. Like I said, that's the only time you probably would be able to sit down with your boss and go over some things and get a little bit of closure. But in your personal relationships, you normally do not get that closure at all, y'all. But we have to figure out how to move forward without that. Through all the crying, through all the tears, through all the anger, through all the hating this person because they did you wrong or whatever the case is, we have to be able to learn how to move forward, y'all. And I'm not telling you it's easy. In some situations, it could be easy. You could want that. I'm sick of this person, so let them go anyway. I've been there and it can't happen. But for a lot of us, of course, people are still grieving, still angry, still upset, still missing the other person. The main thing that I had to realize too when I was, of course, all angry and upset when I was divorced and that kind of thing. I was cheated on actually. Come to find out, but the girl called me, hollering, yelling, cursing, like it was my fault, like 'cause she the one who took my husband. I'm like, okay, I don't want him anymore. You take him. I really don't care. But it was like, okay, what in the world is going on here? Found out he had 3 kids in the process too. I put it that way, and of course I wanted to kill him actually. Had the gun ready on the sofa, loaded and everything, ready to go when he came to the door. I was very, very pissed off. And then I realized after about a week, I took out work and everything. After about a week, I had to realize that what's the point of me killing this person? All I'm going to do is go to jail. But I was very upset, all those emotions, y'all. Our emotions can sometimes take us there. And some folks actually complete the act. As you see all these TV shows, I forgot the names of those shows, Snapped and all that kind of stuff. That does happen. I'm just glad that I sat there and thought about this process and while I was off that at that time, even though I was mad as hell. But I had to sit there and think about that. Why would I lose my life over somebody else? When there's always other men out there I can, of course, date and marry and be in relationships with. I want to say that before I know that they're still dealing with emotions. But like I said, definitely people do snap. And your girl, like I said, I wasn't always the person that you see now. I had a very, very bad temper. Did not know how to work through my emotions. Didn't even know all the names of my emotions. It took me a while to, of course, figure out those names. I'm telling y'all the same thing. If you're going through a lot of emotions, you're upset, you're angry, that kind of thing, get you a journal, get you a notebook. In that link that I'm putting in the description, there's my bookstore that's on there. Check out some journals. Pick you up one if you want to keep one. If not, just go to Walmart, Dollar Tree, get one for $1. But you have got to start writing this stuff out and getting it out of your system. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there hurting and replaying this in your mind the whole time. I did have a journal back then. I have no idea where it's at now. But I did have something that I was writing in back then as well to get all these feelings out. Even when I was so upset, wanting to kill him and all this kind of stuff, I was still writing. You have to find something that you can put your heart and soul into. The writing usually works to get that stuff out of your mind and out of your system, out of your heart, mind, and soul. Write about the feelings. Write about what you're feeling. Whether you're upset, you want to do this, you crying, all those. Write about those things. How you feel dumb because this person cheated on you. That's how I felt. I felt dumb. I felt betrayed. I felt like, why didn't I see this? I felt like all them feelings that I had, I was right. And I sat there and did not even trust myself to even say I was right until I found the evidence saying that it was true. I shouldn't have had to even go through all that if I trusted myself in the beginning. And that's something that you have to realize as well. Trusting your word, trusting your gut feelings, trusting those instincts that you have. But besides all that, getting those feelings out when you're having all these emotions and feelings. If you have no idea what the emotion is called, look up on Google. What are some names of emotions that people feel? Look that up. It'll give you a whole range of emotions. But I'm sure anger, being upset, frustration, bitterness, resentment, I felt all those. I'm sure those are some. Wanting to retaliate, wanting closure, I'm sure those are some. If not all. But just know that everybody's going to have hurt emotions. Everybody's going to grieve. And everybody's going to do this in their own time as well. Just know that, like I said, definitely the way that you deal with your emotions, write them out. If you want to do something else, if you like to walk in nature, that usually works for me too. Baking, cooking, that all works for me. It may not work for you, but it works for me. Find something that you can do that to release those emotions. I'm hoping that it's not drugs or alcohol, that kind of thing at all. But find something that you can do to release your emotions. Something constructive. Because they're going to be there. Everybody, I mean, like I said, a lot of people, if not everybody, has been through some type of breakup or loss of a relationship, even death in a relationship. It's all the similar thing, y'all. We're all going to grieve through the similar things as well. There's a process and stages for grief. But we're all going to go through those things at some point or another, and you're going to have the emotions. Like I said, write those feelings out to get them out of your head and your heart, for one. For two, the main thing that I did, what I did, you may not want to do, is up to you. Everybody has their own story, their own truth, and the way that they handle things. I actually started soul searching at that time of my divorce, and actually of the next relationship I had, to the other long term relationship that I had, that had to end. I started soul searching. Y'all may call it an awakening, whatever you want to call it. It's mainly finding yourself, finding out who you are, finding out more about yourself, figuring out who Tonetta is, learning how to increase your boundaries and create better standards for your boundaries. All those things were included. How to love yourself more, how to develop your self-worth, how to create that self-confidence, soul searching, awakening, whatever you want to call, personal development, is learning who you are within all this. I still journal through the whole thing, writing out the lessons I learned, what boundaries I relaxed, and why. I relaxed some boundaries, thinking that, oh, he's going to change and all this kind of stuff, and he's just in the streets and all this kind of stuff, knowing that I didn't want anybody in the streets at all, because I was in school, finishing up school, trying to get my master's, get my master's in social work. I was working at a career, state job and that kind of thing, so I didn't need anybody that was in the streets. But I was so hung up, and I know for a fact, going back, needing somebody to love me, and feeling that I had to have somebody, I guess, that loved me and that, of course, would cherish me and that kind of thing. I didn't see that growing up, but I knew that it was possible, and I was trying to force those things, in a way, I guess you would say. It may have been the bottom of the iceberg, the things that I didn't realize when it came to abandonment. But like I said, definitely I know that was one of the reasons why I tried to stay in that relationship. After I found out the cheating and got the evidence, I was up and gone within like a month and a half. Got my own apartment. I'm not staying after that. Some folks do. I just wasn't. But like I said, definitely wanting to be loved and that kind of thing. That was one of the things that I know was in the background, playing in the background for me as well. Is, like I said, I didn't have the evidence until I didn't leave until I got the evidence. I guess I put it that way. Even though I had a feeling and my intuition was saying something's not right, something's going on, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's doing that, trying to make excuses, when I knew something probably possibly was going on. But I didn't up and leave until I got the evidence to do so. That my instincts were right, which was farther down the line, actually. But like I said, definitely those emotions will drive you ragged if you don't get rid of them and start dealing with them as soon as you start having them. The journaling, and then to, of course, like I said, start finding out who you are, because you are better than a relationship, I'm sure. You can strengthen some boundaries somewhere. There were some lessons that you learned somewhere. I'm sure of that. That's how you deal with those emotions. Figure out who you are and where you fit into life. And where you fit into this world. Getting on to my next thing, number 3. Figuring out where you fit in the world and following your purpose, the reason that you're put on this earth. Start focusing on yourself to move forward. All the emotions may still be there, but they don't have to affect you as much, because you've written about them, you journal about them, you danced them out, you walked them out. And you figured out more who you are, the strong person that you are, and the other strengths that you may have, the confidence, the self-love, and the self-worth. You found that out. How much of that you have, and how much boundaries you lessened, and the ones that you have strengthened now. So you can better move forward into following your purpose, figuring out what your purpose is. All of our purposes, I can tell you this, is to, of course, be of service to this world and love your brother and your sisters. I can tell you that. That's according to the book, My Purpose Driven Life. Be of service and to love the next. And yes, that's hard to say, because some people you don't want to love because of some things that they may have done. That's where forgiveness comes in. That's a whole different episode, but like I said, it's definitely possible, and that's the purpose. But you have to figure out some things. I'm hoping during this time that you are journaling and trying to figure out who you are, that you found some things that you love. Whatever it is that you do without even blinking your eye, that's probably what you love and probably what one of your missions in life is. If it's baking, if it's cooking, if it's, I don't know, teaching folks how to dance or teaching classes or writing books or whatever it is, there's probably something that you need to be doing. But you have to evaluate your own life. I figure mine out, but you have to evaluate your own life. Mine is, I do cooking demos and stuff like that too. I love baking. I have a small business here in Tucson, cookies and ish. So yes, your girl bakes. I've been baking since I was like 20. Actually, since I was younger, but I have my own business at home since I was like in my early 20s. And selling the items too. So that's a small thing I do on the side because they help me heal. That's one of the things that help me heal. They help me process and think and get through this divorce, other relationship breakups I've had, other bad experiences I've had. That's helped me. I like to walk in nature. That has helped me as well. I love to journal. That's one thing that's really helped me too. All those things that help me heal in some kind of way. The things that help you heal and they help you process and think and that you love and do without blinking the eye, those are probably the things that you should be following. Keep on doing those things. Your purpose will come. But you can always experiment with stuff within finding your mission and finding your purpose and all these kind of things. But make sure that you keep moving forward no matter what you're doing. You don't want to stay stuck in the woe is me and oh they left me and oh they blocked me and all, because I've been blocked and stuff like that too. I have feelings of resentment, bitterness, anger, all those emotions. Like I said, you have to learn how to deal with those. And it's definitely possible if you follow these steps that I just told you. First was the journaling to get the things out. 2 was to figure out who you are. And 3 was to, of course, search and keep moving forward in your purpose. And figure out what that thing is that's going to keep you wanting to, like I said, to continue moving forward. The good things. The things that make you happy. Focus on those things. So like I said, I want to bring this video to y'all today. Like I said, because I know a lot of folks out there are probably dealing with breakup and divorces and all types of stuff. Especially during COVID, it was a lot of divorces. A lot of breakups. Folks walking out of people's lives. And then folks were dying as well. But we have to, like I said, we all are going to have emotions around these things. And we have to learn how to channel them and how to deal with them. So you won't become depressed. So you won't become suicidal, not wanting to be here. I was like that as well at a few points in my life. I had to learn how to deal with those emotions. I'm telling you all the same thing. You're going to have to learn how to deal with your emotions. If you want to work with your girl, your social worker coach one-on-one, you can always click that link again in the description of the video and learn the ways that you can work with me one-on-one. I do one-on-one coaching sessions. So I can help you dive deeper into these things. So with that, like I said, this is Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. I want to say thank you for tuning into this episode on Taboo Conversations the Podcast. And this was all about how do you deal with emotions after you have a divorce or a breakup. And I'm going to include death in there as well because it's a letting go of some sort. The stronger emotions, yes, but it's still a letting go of some sort and a breaking up of the person that you once knew is gone. I guess I put it that way. So again, of course, make sure that y'all, of course, share this podcast episode out to somebody that needs to hear this. And of course, share this on your pages, your blog, share this with your tribe, your families, so they can take a listen as well. Because somebody may be going through something that you have no idea. You may share this and they're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I was going through and exactly what I needed. So feel free to share this to those, like I said, on your pages, on your social medias, and on your blog sites. So, of course, it's your girl, Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach, signing off. I'll see y'all on the next episode. And make sure that y'all are subscribing as well to the YouTube, because I know that I'm putting this video on YouTube. I know y'all on the podcast don't see me, but like I said, definitely make sure that y'all subscribe there too. And then make your way on over to YouTube to subscribe as well. It's the same name, Tonetta Clay. I'm the only one that's on there, that far as I know. So, like I said, go ahead and get your butt on. I guess go ahead and get connected with me. so y'all can join my community. So I would definitely love to have you. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, definitely this was all about how do you deal with the emotions after a breakup, divorce, and death. So take care, y'all, and have a good one.